Hello there. So we are starting another series of short videos. Here we want you to stay relaxed. I'm trying to help you introduce yourself effectively. Again, this is about communication. So we meet people who have unnecessary fear in their mind and they hesitate to speak a language. For you, I want to tell you that it is another language, that's it, and it's not your mother tongue, and you have to make an effort, that's all. So what should you do to keep yourself cool before you introduce yourself? How many kinds of introductions you have? In this video we will see only two things: who you are and where are you coming from. These two informations, if you keep it ready at all time, then it's going to be easy. Who is keeping themselves cool when they introduce them to one another or to a class? See, they have all informations right in their mind. So you must have a lot of information about yourself. When we say information, those informations will have to be very accurate, correct, and it has to be, you have to use a natural language. For that, you have to keep yourself natural. So this is an important point. When you start the conversation with a correct note, you are introducing yourself. When you hit the nail hard, the first level, then you have created an impression in somebody's mind. Where do you introduce yourself? You introduce yourself to a stranger, you introduce yourself to a class, you introduce yourself to a subject teacher, you introduce yourself to a language teacher, you introduce yourself to your boss, you introduce yourself. There are many contexts and occasions. So you should know how you have to maneuver your mind and the details that you want to tell. Sometimes you don't have to give a lot of information about you. Sometimes you don't have to do that about when it comes to family. So introducing yourself is a beautiful activity. Actually, you can make a start. We say that this can be taken as a year of communication for those people who really want to speak English. So this is the time. There are two things that we are going to. Who you are. So when you introduce yourself, you will tell who you are. For doing that, you can have a few ways. You can say, I am Banu, or I am Bhanumathy Gunasekharan, or I am Bhanumathy, or am Banu. You can use I am, or you can use am. I, contraction of am, then it is easy. So when you introduce yourself, you don't have to be very formal, because there are formal introductions, there are informal introductions. Either way, you have the privilege of using, you can use these contractions. You will feel natural. So try to use those contractions. So when you are introducing yourself, you may also have a nickname or a preferred name at home. You can also say, sometimes your name could be very long. Take this. I am Sainthavi, but I have a preferred name at home. You can call me Ducey. My mom and dad used to call me Ducey. Or if you have a long name like this, my name is Sai Rachana Gopalakrishnan, but my family used to call me Rachu. You can introduce yourself in a natural way. You can have many methods. Always you need not be formal here. So you try to use contractions and then give your name to the person. This is the first thing that you have to do. Now here a big language does not come. You only have to know how you have to present your name. Either I am, or am, or my name is. You can add on interesting informations that you have a preferred name and you can choose to tell. You don't have to tell that. So the next information that you want to give here is where you are coming from. So you can say, if you ask me, I would say I was born in Virudhunagar, an important town in Tamil Nadu, but I grew up in a village called Alakapuri. Or you can say I am from Virudhunagar, but I spent my childhood, or I was raised, or I grew up in a village called Alakapuri. What you may not know about this village is, it's very famous for the sugarcane that they cultivate there. So what am I trying to do here? I am trying to adopt a simple honesty in telling some interesting informations. So when you introduce yourself, you don't feel, you are not a bore to others. You feel very easy. And people who listen to you, they might have questions. They will come out with interesting questions. Oh, is it? I also grew up in a village. So it is taking you to another level where people will receive you with the same interest with which you are telling. So when you are introducing yourself, you have to have informations with you. You must have a simple honesty with you. You must be very natural. You should never have anything called fear. Why fear? You don't have to have any fear at all. It is just a language. If you are accurate, if you are clear, you are going to be received very well. You are going to find it easy to communicate. You see, very casually, at the end of this video, if you try these only two things, today we are going to take only these two things. Who you are and where are you coming from. You can give a lot of information about the place where you are coming from. You can tell that I was raised in this particular place, which is very famous for this. You can add on interesting information depending upon the context of your introduction. Two things you learn today: who you are and how you can introduce yourself. You have to use contractions. And you can use words which are very easy, but the information that you have must be very accurate and correct and honest, and then it is going to be easy for you. So you may be a student in a primary class. You can try, very easy. Fear will go away from you, I promise you. So I am going to meet you with the two other matters in the introduction. What is that? We can talk about how we can introduce our family, or how we can tell people that we are educated this much, and this is exactly what our hobbies, our interests, everything we will see in the next video. Until then, we are not writing anything down. You know why? We want you to listen. The more you listen, the easier it is going to become. The more you listen, you will learn to write it down. Take a paper and write it down. The more you write, then you will get an idea to practice it. Practice alone will make it very easy to introduce yourself. And today we have done only these two. Try it out. Good luck.